Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today, myself and Brendan are going on a motorcycle ride to Fuente Camacho. Going to take you to the salt flats, have a walk around the salt flats. The first place we're going to stop at is the Torre de Las Salinas. It's a Moorish structure. It was built during the Moorish times. The Romans were initially at the salt flats. Then the Moors took over after the Romans finished. And it's believed to have been used to control the access to the salt flats. It's like a lookout point, if you like, of the salt flats. And below the Torre de las Salinas, the area below is the most ancient area in Andalusia. They found evidence of human population there from 150,000 years ago. So that's older than anywhere else in Andalusia, and that's here just below this tower. Right, we'll get off with the walk, get walking. We're going down towards the salt flats. Not a long walk today, just a bit of interest really, more than a walk. Okay, see you in a minute. Right, we're leaving the area where the tower is and heading down the hill. Immediately you can see the salt deposits on the bank ahead of us. We'll have a look at them when we're closer. And even today, after all these years, the salt is still extracted here. They're still extracting salt. There's a private company still extracting salt from the area. You can hear the water trickling above us, and obviously you can see the salt on the rocks. So this salt is from the deposits underground. The water springs below ground have melted the salt, brought it to the surface in the springs, and when it's come to the surface and it's running down the hillside, the sun's naturally evaporating the water off and leaving the salt on the hillside. Let's see if we can get a bit of salt. I'll get this way, easy. So this is the salt. This is the salt that's deposited along the hillside. Amazing. Right. So as you can see, where the waters run down the side of the road, it's all salt. It was a very important place. During the Roman times, this area was more important than Locke, because this area had the salt where they could preserve food.
Salt is regarded as money. The word salary for your pay.
Yeah.
So this was like money.
Yeah.
It was equivalent ratioed against gold, Roman times.
This is Brendan, my friend, who's with me today. He's on the walk with me today. Hold on. This is Brendan. I'll do it. I've done a drone on him. So these are the modern water containers that the modern company put in. Further down we'll find the Roman ones. Unfortunately, the Roman ones are now fenced off. When I first originally came here many years ago, they weren't fenced off, but now they've put a fence around them to preserve them, and you have to get in touch with local authorities and the archaeological authority to get permission to go inside and have a look at them, and that permission takes 2 months. So the water in here is slowly evaporating and it's going to leave the salt deposits. The mountain in the foreground is Sierra de Loca. It's where we went a few weeks ago. We did the video at the boardwalk and the cave. That's at the top of that mountain. And if we stay on this road, keep going on this road, eventually you'll arrive in Rio Frio. The river here, the river Salado, and in the distance, in the far distance, is Rio Frio, and that's where the river Salado joins the river Rio Frio. Then they both head off towards this Naka Lake, joining the Rio Hanel.
The water flowing there, you can see it twinkling.
Yes, yeah, there is. It's come from over there. Yeah, there's always springs here. You can see the crust of the salt there. Look at it, down the bottom, look, the river's running.
Yeah.
As Brendan was telling me, the salt was a highly prized commodity in the Roman times. It was used for money, hence the word salary. This is the salt plant, where the wagons come to collect the salt. As you can see, everywhere where the water touches, it leaves salt deposits. The brine is that thickened salt that comes out of the ground. An old bridge to give access over the river. So as you can see, the other side of the fence is the old Roman salt flats. They're obviously being abandoned now, but they protected, they put the fence up to stop people going on them. We've been harassed by some red-legged birds. I think we must be near a nest of some type. The Romans used to extract the water using evaporation first, and then they used a system which was called ignition to purify the salt. The salt was put in clay pots and then put in a large bonfire, a wooden bonfire, and set fire to. And salt, it boils at 801 degrees Celsius, and salt will go red hot. You can see it glowing red. So that when the salt started glowing red in the pots, the Romans knew that the salt was purified. They would let the pots cool down and then smash the pots, extract the salt. The salt was then collected together and sent back to Rome. That was the reason they were here. The salt was used for food preservation and eating. So Fuente Camacho was an important place in the Roman times, except that it wasn't called Fuente de Camacho in the Roman times. I haven't got a name for it in the Roman times, to be honest. Fuente de Camacho is a more recent name. It's a name given to it in the Christian times. It was Fuente, meaning spring. Camacho was a wealthy family who lived in Camacho at the time, so it was just named after them. So Fuente Camacho is named after a family, a wealthy family who lived here during the Christian times, early Christian times. Okay, we're at the end of the salt production now. It's really hot. Brendan's with me, and we'll start heading back up the hill, head back towards the motorcycles, and then we'll go a ride out on the motorbikes. heading my way back up towards where we park the motorcycles. This place must have been a hive of activity during the Roman times and the Moorish times to get this salt, this most precious commodity that we need to survive. Look at it now, it's in the middle of nowhere. It should be celebrated. There's Brendan up ahead, heading his way back. Our destination in view now. You can see the tower just up the hill. The mountain behind is Gibraltar. It's in the Malaga province. It's a privately owned mountain. There's two farmers who own it. They grow mushrooms on the mountain, so they keep the public off. And only once a year is there a walk to the top, and that's later in June, this month. A last look at the salt waterfall before we head back. Thank you for coming on the walk with me today, me and Brendan. Hope you enjoyed it. It's a bit of information, not much of a walk. It's getting far too hot for walking now, and I'm just trying to find places now which could be of interest, where if you're visiting the area you could pop in, just have a look, just you know, an hour wander around, just look at the salt flats here. Fuente Camacho is the second most westerly place in Granada province. Del Rey is the furthest west. Fuente Camacho is next to it. Fuente Camacho is a small village just up the road from where we are, about 2 kilometres up the road from where we are. It used to have a thriving population, but the population has decreased quite a lot now. It's one of those things again where pub transport makes everything accessible to people, so people can just travel anywhere they want, and the younger people tend to go looking for jobs elsewhere. Okay, so hopefully I'll see you on the next one, and in the meantime, you take care. Bye for now.